Today we're making salad. Sounds boring, but it's not, because this salad is delicious. Arugula, my favorite green for sure. Crispy prosciutto, got some blue cheese, and we're gonna top it off with an apple cider vinaigrette. This is a great salad for transitioning from summer to fall, which is right where we're at. Let's get going. First thing we're gonna do in our pan on medium heat, some sliced almonds. We're just gonna toast those, no oil or anything in the pan, just a dry toast, and toss it around every once in a while, just to give it another depth of flavor. While that's going, shave the fennel. If you have a mandolin slicer, you can shave this. I mean, you want it as thin as you can get it, because fennel is pretty fibrous. It's like a cousin to celery, and I don't know, just rocks. I'm not really sure, somewhere in there. But it's if you shave it really, really thin, then it's really quite pleasant to eat. I'm just going to use a knife to show you that you don't have to have a mandolin slicer. Just steady hand and some patience. So this is what we're going for. Really, really thin pieces. Just break them apart. And that will set off to the side for now. And that will just get tossed in there raw, as long as they're small. Yeah, really good to eat. If you're not familiar with fennel, it has kind of like a licorice flavor. If you don't like black licorice, don't freak out about it. It's not like overpowering or anything. Just a very subtle anise flavor, really good. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to crisp up the prosciutto. Most often prosciutto is just eaten raw, maybe with some crackers or cheese or stuff like that. We're going to crisp it up. Really, really great application, especially for a salad, just with a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to use the olive oil that's left over in here for my vinaigrette, and so as you need to add olive oil, feel free to do that, because you want to get the ham flavor from the prosciutto kind of into the oil, and then that will make our dressing super delicious. Okay, got a couple of garlic cloves here. Take the stems off, and then just thinly slice. Now that oil, we're going to infuse with some flavor. So I want one whole clove. Cloves are very, very potent, so you don't need many. Actually, let's do two. I think two will be just what we want. And then 2 cloves of garlic right into that pan. A little bit of sauce, more olive oil. That's going to be the base of our vinaigrette. So now turn the heat off and just let that cool off to the side. That will draw a lot of that flavor out, and we'll pull the cloves out before we make the dressing, but the garlic will stay in. Once the garlic starts to turn, we're just going to pour it out of the pan. And when I say turn, it's just some pieces are starting to get a little darker. We don't want them to get burnt, because then they can turn bitter. So we'll pour that oil into just a ceramic bowl that will start cooling off the oil so that it doesn't overburn. And we're just going to put this right into the fridge. While that's cooling down, we're going to start building our dressing, the other ingredients. For this, I'm just going to use Mayonnaise. My wife will try and not have eggs for her very often. About, I'd say 2 tablespoons of that. Apple cider vinegar, raw, unfiltered, whatever brand you prefer. We're going to do about 2 tablespoons of that as well. And now Dijon mustard, about a tablespoon of that. A little sweetness, we'll add just a little bit of honey, 1 to 2 tablespoons. For our apple cider vinaigrette, cinnamon, just like that much, which is probably a 1/4 teaspoon. and then a pinch of nutmeg, fresh grated if you can. Whisk this part of it up, and then add in the oil. Whew. Yep, that's yummy. Pull the cloves out of the oil now that it's cooled down a bit. In there. This is a Blue Stilton. Gorgonzola also works really well. If you don't have either one of those, any blue cheese would be fine. These ones have a bit less pungency and kind of like a background sweetness, and so they go really well with all these other flavors. And now we just toss everything together. Ingredients first, and then we'll add the dressing. That's so good.